Hello everyone and a very merry welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today I'm going to be testing out the Nurture Soap Supplies Carnival Colors. Now I've had these for a while, I just haven't gotten around to making it, and I woke up this morning and was like, you know what, I want to make an absurdly vibrant soap today. So those are what I'm going to be using. So I have my base oils here. Base oils are the oils, just for those of you guys who may be new around here, base oils are the oils that I'm going to be using at the bottom of the soap, so not for the piping. All the piping is done with a separate batch. So in here I have some organic and sustainably harvested palm oil, I have olive oil, I have sweet almond oil, I have castor oil, and I have coconut oil. So all of those oils are in here. And then over here I have sodium hydroxide, which is more commonly referred to as lye, mixed with distilled water. So that's what this is. And then when you add them together, they go through a chemical process called saponification, and that is how you get soap. That is also how you explain a very detailed and long and complicated process really quickly. So I'm putting my stick blender in here. This is the Cuisinart stick blender. You put this in here and then you kind of shake it around, get all the bubbles out. I'm going to mix the oils around just a little bit on low. Once that's done, I'm going to take this lye water solution. It is the exact same temperature as my base oils, which is right around 90 degrees Fahrenheit for this batch. I work anywhere between 70 and 90 degrees. Great, got all that out, so I'm going to set this to the side. Then I'm going to mix this up on low speed for about 30 to 45 seconds, but I always cut that out because it's really loud. Alright, it's been 30 seconds, so I'm going to tap this off to the side, and then I'm going to split this batch into 4 equal parts. We're not going to have any white in this base soap, which for me is quite unusual. I'm feeling quite adventurous today. Here's my 4 bowls that I got from the dollar store. Now, can you weigh out exact amounts of soap? Yes, you can. Will I weigh out exact amounts of soap? No, I will not. Why? That's just the way I do it. I find that once they're all mixed up anyway, you can't tell if there's like 3 or 4 ounces more of one soap than of all the others. It's just, it doesn't end up being that big a deal. Not when you're doing the type of swirls that I do. If you're doing like very defined lines, I definitely would measure it out, but I'm not doing that today, so I'm not going to. So much scrapey. Oh, and by the way, I get asked all the time where I got these big bowls, and honestly, I can't remember, but I think it was like a science supply store. I know it was online, but they hold 120 ounces of oil and the equivalent amount of lye water solution that you will need. Sorry, I'm like completely obscuring the view. So yeah, these big buckets have been great. If I can find something, like I said, equivalent, I'll leave it down in the description box below. These fabulous spatulas I got at the dollar store. Now for the colors. So into this one I'm putting in purple, the neon purple. I'm not going to scrape it a whole bunch because I have a feeling that's going to be plenty of color. Into this one I'm putting blue. Goes all the blue. Into this one goes pink, which I have a feeling is just going to be like out of this world, eye-popping pink. And into this one goes a lime green. Now also into these containers I'm going to be adding a little bit of titanium dioxide that's mixed with water. And I always do this for any sort of big color swirl. Most of the time I do this anyway. And this is because even though you'll mix up all these colors and they'll be really nice, sometimes you get soap that looks a little bit more translucent. It's not as opaque. So I'm just going to put a few little drops of the titanium dioxide, and that is going to keep it very, very vibrant, and it's going to keep the soap looking very separate. It's not going to swirl together so hard and have that sort of translucent look. So we'll start with the pink because that's the lightest color. Holy crap! Look at that! Oh my gosh, that's absurd. And the green too. Good grief. I can't wait to see the purple. Look at that neon purple. Oh, It's beautiful. And there's the blue, which is like not nearly as bright as all the other ones. I'm adding a little bit more blue because this looks so weird. I feel like I need to put some blue vibrance mic in there to wake it up a little bit. Okay, so I put a little bit of the brilliant blue in there. Okay, so there it is with the brilliant blue. That makes a huge difference. So the cosmetic, like neon blue, I'm not entirely sure what that's called. I know, I'm so good at names today. I don't think I recommend because it was not nearly as strong as all the other ones and kind of had a weird color. So now I'm adding my fragrance oil. This is Camu Camu from Nature's Garden Candles. This is a duplication from a company that starts with the word L and rhymes with crush. It smells amazing, you guys. I've never actually soaped with it, but I had a lot of people tell me that I should, so I bought it, and it is like one of my favorite fragrances that I've ever smelled, like straight out of the bottle. So I'm just going to put my stick blender in here, and I'm going to gently mix up this soap. I'm not even turning the stick blender on, I'm just mixing it. And then I turned on the stick blender for about 5 seconds. So I'm going to do this to all of the colors, and then we're going to start pouring in the molds. The first color I am pouring into the mold here is the purple. I'm just going to do one little stripe. Then I'm going to pour the green. Then I'm pouring the pink. And now the blue. And I'm going to repeat this order of pouring until these molds are completely full. And I have a feeling these are going to look super crazy whenever it gets unmolded. And I'm going to speed this up so that you guys don't get bored. This is where I'm going to stop as far as plopping the soap into the mold because I have so much scrapey-scrapeying to do. So I'll be back when it's time to pipe. I'm back to pipe, and I'm going to be using the Royalty Soaps piping set, and I have put a bit of each color in a line down the piping bag. We'll see how that ends up looking. I don't think I've ever done 3 colors down the side, so we'll see if it even shows up. It's like barely showing up, if at all. Oh well, I tried. If it's 100% white, that's okay too. Oh, some of it's showing up. Oh, okay, oh look, oh there's some more. Ooh, these look like meringues from the Meringue Girls. I don't know if you guys know about them, but they're on Instagram. And they make some beautiful meringues. I bet that is similar, this method right here is similar to how they bake them. They have like unicorn poop meringues, and they look really, really similar to that, honestly. Well, I feel like I need to do this more often. I have a funny story for you guys. I take Caleb to work every morning, and so he goes really, really early, so I have to go really, really early, naturally. So this morning, whenever I got home, as soon as I pulled up into my parking spot, this cat jumped up on top of my car. Okay, so it is actually the next day. My piping set up way too fast. It got so hard I just had to walk away from it. Caleb called me, he needed me to pick him up from work, and I was just like, you know what, forget it. I'm not gonna do this today. So this is actually a brand new batch. I'm not entirely sure why that happened, but it did. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday. But anyway, about the cat. So the cat jumps up on top of my car, and I'm like, whoa, okay, kitty just came out of nowhere. And then it starts like meowing and like rubbing around my feet when I get out of the car. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is so weird. And I go up to my apartment door and open it, and the cat like comes inside. Like, just comes inside the house like, hello, I belong here. And I was like, what are you doing, you little weirdo? Like, I have no idea who you belong to or what. And it starts like going around my feet and purring, and I called Caleb and I was like, there is a cat that has adopted me. It's the cat that I've always wanted. It has arrived. And Caleb was like, no, no, no. That is not what is going on. That is way too friendly. It probably lives with one of our neighbors. You wouldn't want to take their cat, would you? And I was like, well, yes, actually, but so I fed him some food that I have saved just for that sort of thing. Ooh, that's kind of an ugly color that's coming out here. I'm gonna turn it around so you can't see it. So this is actually really fun, like this type of piping. I didn't think I would like it so much, but I do. Like, it looks so like multicolored and beautiful. I really hate that I have to wait like another 18 to 24 hours before I can cut the stupid bars though, because I really want to see what they look like on the inside. I really hope the inside of the bar like reflects how pretty the outside of the bar is though. Like, I'm still sort of worried about that the inside's gonna be kind of ugly. And I'm just kind of making a mess of this piping. It's normally so uniform, but like I've just completely screwed it up. I'm just filling in these cracks here because I clearly have plenty of piping stuff now since I already got some of the layer done. That started getting really ugly there down at the bottom though, didn't it? It was like, ugh. I don't know, but these are going to be some really giant bars of soap. Okay, time to put the final dollops on the top before we do the embeds. I have had to clean out my piping bag just once because some of the colors were starting to morph together and it was starting to look like brown and stuff. So if you try to do anything like this, be prepared. You will probably have to wipe your piping bag out at least once. Now that the piping is done, I'm going to sprinkle some glitter on here. This is my new favorite. It is so shiny, you guys. It's absolutely beautiful. I think that glitter is really going to add to this particular design. I'm also going to take some iridescent microfine glitter. Give it a good, generous lashing of that. Oh my gosh, that's a stupid amount of glitter. Okay, so now I'm going to put the little soap gumballs on top. The soap gumballs were made using the same colors that I did on the inside of the soap. Oh my gosh, these bars are going to be so freaking huge. Just giant. They're going to be giant. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to make a video about my favorite suppliers. You guys asked for that in the previous video that I did because I mentioned that there were some that I didn't prefer, some that I thought, you know, weren't very reputable. So the least I can do is recommend some ones that I really like. Now there's two of them that I know tons of people like. I've just never tried them, mainly because their shipping costs were just way too much. Like, as far as deals go, I could get it a lot cheaper and just as good a quality from other people, and that's the reason I didn't do it. And so those two companies are Rustic Essentials, which, again, I know a lot of people like. The only reason I haven't tried them is just because it isn't cost effective for me personally. And there's one more. I feel like it's a big one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Bulk Apothecary, that's what it is. It's Bulk Apothecary. So I've never tried Rustic Essentials or Bulk Apothecary. I've also never tried Mad Oils, but I've seen their color performance for their micas and stuff in cold process, and it's really, really beautiful. And last time I checked, they were like giving little pieces of candy in every single order, which I'm not saying is a reason you should buy from a company. I'm just saying it's awesome. So yeah, you can be expecting that video pretty soon. And ta-da! These bars are done. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. This is nuts. It actually doesn't look as pretty on camera as it does in real life. The colors look sort of smeary on camera, but they're a little more separate in real life. And like that purple looks sort of maroon, but it's actually like a very vibrant purple. So I don't know why my camera's doing that, but isn't that way too much fun? Yeah, I think I'm going to call this like Crazy Carnival or something like that. But it smells great, and I can't believe I have to wait that long to cut it, but whatever. So yeah, I will see you guys when I come back tomorrow to cut this. Let's see what it looks like inside. I can't talk. Hey guys, we are back. I actually didn't have to wait a full 24 hours, which is good because I was getting mighty impatient. So, on my last video, somebody said that they wanted to see me unmolding this, and then lots of other people were like, yeah, do unmolding. So, it's a little different for every single mold, but this is the Nurture Soap 18 bar mold. So, on the bottom, and you make sure your soap is good and hard on top before you do this, but on the bottom there are these holes, which you can use to push the soap out if you want, but I just hold it and pull this wooden box part off, just like that. Then I flip it over. And you have to make sure that your soap is really hard before you do this. But you peel off one side and you peel off the other. See, my soap is good and hard underneath. Then you can push this forward and you peel the back. Now if your soap doesn't get super hard in the mold, this will definitely be hard to unpeel. Now it's really easy to do with the Brambleberry silicone liners, but it's a little harder to do with these bigger silicone liners. But the thing that I like about these is that they stand up all by themselves. You don't need to put clips on the side, they just hold themselves up. So that's good, and they are better at insulating. So I prefer these green ones over the clear silicone ones from Brambleberry. I prefer the Nurture ones, but if I didn't have this recipe, I would not prefer it because it'd be so hard to unmold. Now I'm going to turn it on to the side, and I'm going to move you up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so it's a little out of focus, but hopefully y'all get it. So I'm going to push on the edges here, real gentle, until I start feeling it unsucking. You feel it sort of unsucking from the bottom. So I do it on one side first, then I flip it, and then I do it on the next side, just kind of pushing until you feel the suction releasing. Again, if you don't have a hard recipe, this is difficult and it can rip up your corners. Okay, so then look, it pulls right off. Now I'm gonna hold on to my soap loaf. Woohoo! And off it goes. Ta-da! I was really worried that this soap was gonna be like ridiculously ugly, but I don't think it is. So I'm really surprised, but delighted. So I'm gonna line this up, make sure I don't cut any of those soap gum balls. Once it's aligned, I'm gonna push very slowly. The soap is really hard on the inside. Perdang. Let's pull one out of the middle. See what it looks like. Shimmy that out of there. Whoa! Whoa! Look at this nonsense. That is so vibrant. Again, I don't really like the blue. I really like the green and the purple and the pink, but the blue is not my favorite. Also, I had to let the soap sit for too long. That's what those little marky things look like on there. If I leave my soap in the mold too long, I always get those. This still looks really cool, and look, you can see the veins of the color from the piping. And it definitely smells very fruity. This is a yummy scent. It's mixed with something else. I want to say some like kind of green notes in there, but that is just so wild looking. I don't even know how to feel about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, ooh look, that's where I messed up and it actually ended up looking really cool. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, maybe even leave me a comment down below.